Hey, what's going on, people? It's your boy Ken Coff Bizz. Doing this another Thursday today. I appreciate anybody for checking me out, anybody for tapping in. Um, I just want to say this before I begin. Hopefully everybody's Valentine's Days went well. Um, and anybody that's been traveling today, hopefully, everybody's, been safe and, they can be in the crib as much as they can. Because I know that for some people out there, it's a little, it's a little slippery. The roads are kind of unkempt right now. So just want to give a shout out to everybody, pretty much. Now, hey Andrew, how's it going? Just for me to just get on into this thing, because I got a couple of videos to do after this, because I'm going to start doing movie reviews, and I'm going to start posting those on my YouTube channel as early as next week. So, you know, so after I get done, I got a couple of vids to do. So might not take too long, but anyway, here it goes, right? So first, what I want to discuss is I want to discuss the whole situation between Meek Mill and Tekashi69, and just other things like that. Because as people know, there's a lot of opinions, flowing around about that. Of course, people talking about, as far as interacting with Tekashi69, since he's a snitch and he's pretty much, walking the streets right now, and somebody of Meek Mill's stature should not be having any kind of altercations with him at all. So of course, there's been various different means of info that people want to put to the pot. And of course, we saw the video. We don't really know what's going on, cause and we don't really know, what was the cause of it, who saw who early in the night, if both of them were in the club, whatever it is, who knows. But this is how I see it when it comes to all of that. For the people that are saying that Meek Mill shouldn't be entertaining that at all, I'll say this. I fully agree. And I tell you right now that is how it should be going. Tekashi 69 had a hot career for about a year, got thrown in jail, snitched on the gang, was able to get out shortly after testifying, shortly after, getting some people, assisting getting some people locked up. And with that, he ended up back on the streets, trying to do more music. The music didn't really pop like he thought it would. It was one of those things where, he, it was supposed to have, gotten a certain number of sales. Apparently he lied about those things. And, he's been pretty cold. All that's been pretty quiet right now. You know what I'm saying? So this is the thing. Meek Mill should not be associating himself at all with that kind of situation. But the one thing that we do have to say, and we do have to admit, that's Meek Mill's MO. Meek Mill's the same guy that, when the whole Drake thing was going down, he, was running around telling people that Drake had a ghostwriter and this, that, and the third. You know what I mean? He stayed in that drama. When it came to man, who was that? When it came to Safari, when he was dating Meek Mill and Safari, of course, at that time, he was the next ex. You know what I'm saying? She broke up with him, got with Meek Mill. Safari's on the strip, for an award show, and all of a sudden, dudes are jumping Safari. And Meek Mill, for whatever reason, gets out of the car. Now, I don't know if he saw that was going down or whatever the case may be, but anytime that you got somebody that there's somebody that people know that you got some kind of beef with or some kind of issue with, whether it be streetwise or not, what you got to do is that you got to be aware of that. The people that's with you, they got to say, well, hey, there you go, right there. Stay away from him. Just like with Tekashi69, if anytime that you're aware that he's around you, even when he runs up to you, get away from that motherfucker and fast. You know what I'm saying? Because for one, what happened in this particular altercation? Tekashi69 running his mouth back and forth with Meek Mill. It looks like security's around them. And while all of this is going down, he's videotaping the whole thing with his phone. Why is that? He's a snitch. Like he's not really on the run, you know what I mean? Because he's, doing whatever it is that he do. But because of the fact that he's a snitch, and there can very well be some people that will want him dead. Anytime that he has any kind of altercation with anybody on the streets, he's going to have a video camera around. Just like before he snitched on the gang. He's going to have a video camera around. He's going to try to have some documentation. He's going to try all that tough shit. He's going to try to be hiding behind security. He's going to have people around him. But at the end of the day, he's going to have you in a situation where you can get jammed up, which is why when he was videotaping you and y'all were running your mouths back and forth, he was sitting there saying, oh yeah, you trying to get me jammed up. You trying to get me locked up. When it comes to niggas like that, don't say nothing, because they living to get you jammed up. You don't even, and see, it's crazy because, on social media and, different, reaction videos and stuff like that, people are saying stuff like, oh yeah, Meek Mill should have slapped him. Meek Mill should have beat the shit out of him. Entourage should have handled him, this, that, and the third. And it's like, on the real, not this week. Only because because I am gonna put this video on my YouTube, and apparently when I bring somebody in, it doesn't allow me to like save the video after I get done, which means that I can't save it, I can't edit it, and and then bring it on the other platforms. So not this time, but I'll probably do that like within the next couple of weeks. I got you, cuz. Now, but going back to him, he's one of those guys that because of whatever's going on, he's looking to get you jammed. He's looking for documentation. He's going to do the tough. He's going to do the tough guy talk, but he's going to be that guy that's going to. He's going to be that. He's going to be the motherfucker that when something's going down and he talking like he want to fight and carry on, he really don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? He want them, yeah, hold me back type motherfuckers. While he's actually holding on and pulling on the security and pulling his guys in. The so-called, to not hold him back. You know what I mean? So Meek, just, you're doing a lot of good things for the community. You're contributing to police reform and all of that. You don't want to associate yourself with that kind of swine. Straight up, flat out, you know what I mean? When motherfuckers like that is around you, you're not even supposed to entertain them. There's nothing at all that you are supposed to do that can tie you in any kind of way. I mean, because what happens if, within the next couple of weeks, something happens to him? Not even saying somebody murders him, but you know, some kind of assault, robbery, something like that. Because of the fact that you are on camera going back and forth with that clown, as soon as something happens, the police are going to be looking for you. You're going to be somebody that they're at least going to look into. You're at least going to be a person of interest in certain things. So, be tread lightly, be blessed, be righteous, and honestly, if there's a situation where you got to go on anybody, where you got to be ready for anybody, if it's a situation like that, then just do it with somebody that warrants that. He's not that. He's not that dude. He is the epitome of him being as tough as his entourage is, and I don't think that there's a lot of tough shit going on. He's hurting and he's dying inside. Leave him alone. Leave him alone. That goes for any of you rappers, celebrities, personalities, whatever it is. Anybody, leave that motherfucker alone. Let that nigga die slow on his own. And that's all I'm gonna say about that. Now, going on to the next thing, right? So, Britney Spears, you know, there was a documentary that dropped about her. I didn't see it, you know, cause you know, I don't be looking for everybody's documentary, and it's so many things that I gotta watch. You know what I mean? I just got over the weekend I watched Judas and the Black Messiah, Malcolm and Marie. I still gotta watch American Skin, and tonight after I do a couple of videos for YouTube, I'm going to check out One Night in Miami. So I got things on my list that I actually need to watch. Me, a Britney Spears documentary, it doesn't interest me. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't watch it. But apparently, you know, there's been some backlash, you know, coming from the way that she was handled, especially in his younger year. I'm sorry, especially in her younger years, and how controlling the parents was, and and you know, money being withheld and all that kind of stuff. I have heard those things about it. So, thing about that whole thing is that anytime that somebody does anytime that some kind of documentary happens where somebody's getting some kind of heat, or the people feel like somebody has done wrong, even though they should have said these things 10, 20, 10, 15, 20 years ago, they're saying it now because they're getting the backlash. People are pointing fingers, and this motherfucker feels like that they need to speak. And Justin Timberlake, apparently he took it upon himself this week because of the backlash to not only apologize to Britney Spears, but to also apologize for Janet Jackson. He apologized for Britney Spears because apparently he spoke publicly about them actually having sex. If anybody remembers, you know, as pretty much as like, you know, teenagers where they were like, you know, like 18, 19 years old, they were dating, and Britney Spears, and it might not, and I'm not sure because I haven't watched the documentary, but I remember at least at that time that it was either Britney Spears or her camp that, you know, were pretty much like encouraging like the good girl image for her. So she was, you know, talking like she was practicing abstinence, like she was a virgin, and this, that, and the third. Of course, you know, dudes like myself and other dudes, like we're thinking to ourselves that, you know, Justin was tapping that at that age. He spoke out publicly and said that he was. Either Britney Spears or her camp didn't like that. And because of that, her camp then, you know, had her under more control, because now they're kind of like, well, you're getting a little bit too wild, you're getting a little bit, too rambunctious and this and the third. So they tried to control her more, which is, which pretty much happens anytime, somebody loses control, they're gonna try to do more to break free. And of course, the whole idea is that particular incident. I'm sorry, that particular incident was almost like a catalyst for her behavior in the future. Her, sleeping with, being impregnated by, and marrying the background dancer Kevin Federline, shaving her head, mental problems, and all that kind of stuff. Where, like, it can be perceived that she was, spiraling out of control, and that was kind of like the lead off to it, because she was kind of like out of control at that point. You know what I'm saying? So apparently, Justin Timberlake, he apologized for any role that he contributed to that, leading by, him, sleeping with her, and like when they were like in a relationship, and of course it was consented, but it wasn't a good look that he was telling people when they were trying to portray, the chaste virgin thing. And then of course, people been talking about, the whole Super Bowl performance, with Janet Jackson, Justin Timberlake, and when, Justin Timberlake, when he pulled on the dress, and A Page, when he pulled on the dress, and and the exposed breast was out. So he also apologized for his role in that. Now I will say this about Justin Timberlake, as far as the Britney Spears stuff. Yeah, if he, in a minute. Okay, all right. In a minute, I'm doing something. Now, um, lost my train of thought. Okay, yeah, back to it. So, trust me, me as a dude that age, 18, 19, 20, we all either were dudes or new dudes that either lied on their dick, that said that we smashed somebody that we didn't. And then there's sometimes when we actually did smash, but somebody gets upset that we told. So if there was a conversation that was to be had, then hey, he was definitely in the wrong for that. If it's a situation where, yeah, exactly, I'm doing something. It's funny, but yeah, if there was a conversation that was had, then yeah, then it was wrong. If it wasn't a conversation, and he just kind of, and he might have just been happy that he was doing his thing and told, then I don't really know, But of course, that's a situation where you look at the documentary, you hear one side, you hear the other side, and then you pick your side in the whole matter. When it comes to Janet Jackson, because of course, with Janet Jackson, she got a whole bunch of ridicule from that incident that happened. This is the one thing that I will say about that. For one, and let me just get this on my chest real quick. I'm not, because this isn't even talking about, whether, she's right or wrong, whatever happened, cool. Um it's funny to me when it's dudes that are running around saying that they don't snitch on whatever, they don't snitch, in the line of fire, in the life, in the life of crime, they don't snitch. You're not supposed to snitch, and this, that, and the third. But they're talking about how Justin Timberlake, that once Janet Jackson said, well, yeah, this happened, it was my fault, that he was supposed to back her up on it, where those same guys, when it's taught, when it's taught to them, when they're doing illegal activity, even if somebody says, oh yeah, I did this, you're still not supposed to speak on it. It's just funny to me when I hear the street guys speak on this, that follow certain codes. It's funny to me. So I don't want to say about that. And I'm just speaking just to those guys, especially those guys that still following those same codes. But me, I'm not a street guy. You know what I mean? I do believe in, not snitching and this, that, and the third. But if Justin Timberlake, Janet Jackson, if they had a conversation, or if they people, they camps had a conversation to say, well, hey, Janet is going to, she's going to respond to it, and she's going to say, well, yeah, I did this, that, and the third. Boom. Then I would think and assume, and maybe I'm wrong for assuming, but I would think and assume that if this was discussed with Justin, and they said, well, hey, Justin, you got to tell your role in the matter too. Don't run from it. That's something that he should have done. And with that, he's definitely wrong on that. 100%. You know what I'm saying? Definitely wrong. So when it comes to that, especially when it comes to the Janet Jackson thing, he's apologizing now. This happened in 2004, I believe. If I'm just speaking off the top of my head, we wanted to hear that then. Like, we really don't care to hear. At least me, I really don't care about hearing about it in 2021 when it's not. It's not like allegedly. It's not something that Hey, you pull something down and the titty came out, and whether you did it without her knowledge and you just ripped it, or if just the clothing, like that was like on top of a bra or on top of a shirt, if that was pulled off, you know or if both of y'all conspired to pull the titty out, you know I don't want to hear that apology now. And I do kind of get tired, like when people give apologies, with shit that happened so long ago when we all knew what it was. Because honestly, the apologies, they don't really do nothing now. They don't do much at all now. You know what I mean? That's just already happened. It's been dead. It's dead and gone. As far as I'm concerned. And if anything, Justin, you know, live your life, man. On the real, nobody don't want to hear nothing about you unless you're making good music. I mean, that's just me, and that's just what I'll say on it. Now, the next thing, people are asking. Well, it's kind of a question that kind of comes about every year, but of course, this was mainly brought about again because Michael B. Jordan, Lori Harvey, they're dating now. He's claiming her. Apparently, they're in a relationship, and there was like this big Valentine's thing, where he's at they're in a big celebration. Um, and people are just wondering if big Valentine's Day celebrations ruin it for everybody. Meaning, if your significant other or somebody that you're dating, or hey, even like on some few dates type of thing, nothing exclusive is happening. If you got 100 roses, and you gotta big diamond necklace and ring and earrings and red bottoms and all that kind of stuff. You got the good food. Especially like if you're a celebrity, you got the private chef, coming through there and everything. Um, when when those things are happening, people are wondering if that ruins it for everybody. And I think that people have been talking about that with her in particular, because the thought with her is that she just running around, as Kate Michelle would say, throwing the hot pocket around. And this is the thing. For one, I don't begrudge Lori Harvey for doing anything, because if men can do it, women can do it. Okay. Um, yeah, but if women can do it, men can do it. So if dudes are running around, like especially if guys like Futures are having, baby mamas every 5 minutes, and Nick Cannon, he's got, you know, multiple women that he's dealing with, and baby moms and all that kind of stuff. I mean, why can't Lori Harvey? Especially when it doesn't seem like she's just dating multiple dudes at one time. Seems like, she's dating a dude for a second, that ends, go to the next dude. Dates a dude for a second, that ends, go to the next dude. You know what I'm saying? And if that's the case, cool, I don't mind it. I'm not one of those dudes, and I'm not gonna pull the, where she was a guy. I'm not gonna do all of that. But I will say this: me, I'm no millionaire. I'm no billionaire, no thousandaire, none of that. I'm not so well off that I'm just giving, women, this crazy Valentine's presents. You know what I'm saying? I did something a little small for Valentine's Day, spent that with somebody, and that was that. Had a good little time. You know what I mean? It wasn't flowers, out the wazoo. It wasn't, horse and carriage rides. It wasn't nothing like that. You know what I mean? But I'm not gonna say that because of the fact that somebody either makes more money than me or does a lot more to celebrate their Valentine's Day with a significant other or somebody that they're dating than I am, that they're ruining it, that they're ruining it for me. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, people are cool with getting certain things. And honestly, if you date certain people, especially if everything is disclosed, meaning like if you're in one of those dudes, perping a certain lifestyle that you're not living. Like if you cause see me, I've known the scammers, and I've known niggas, that are scammed on credit cards and this, that, and the third. I know, dudes that, what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, they get me robbed on whatever it is, they get it, they're gonna get it. Where it's not consistent income, and where it's not steady, and where they don't just have, either liquid or investments. It's not that. Sometimes, dudes, they hit a quick lick, and then they go from there. So when it comes to that, it's like, yo, that's them. And if they want to lie to the women or lead them on, that's them. Me being somebody that's just truthful, and I'll say, well, hey, I mean, I've told women on dates before, like leading up to the date, hey, I want to take you out, and we agree to go out, and I might say, well, hey, this is what I do, this is in my budget, we'll do this, we'll do that, and it's their choice to say either yay or nay. You feel me? But that shit don't ruin it for everybody. Like honestly, yo, and this is coming from a broke dude. or relatively. Like I'm doing better than some niggas out here, but I get tired of the broke dudes that are envious of the dudes that can do for their women. You know what I mean? Like, honestly, if a dude wants to trick, he can trick. You know what I'm saying? I would just, prefer that they actually just say what it just call it what it is. Don't try to pretend like it's nothing else. Or if you're doing something, for a significant other and you feel like they're worthy of it, do that. That's fine. And fellas, if you are with somebody that, is willing to deal with you and what you have, no matter what the level is, that's cool. But that don't ruin it for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Because the thing about it is that for one, every dude ain't going to get the Instagram model. Every dude ain't going to get the woman that's rubbing shoulders with the celebrities. You know what I'm saying? Depending on your tax bracket, or depending on your occupation, or depending on who you hang around, where you go to, depending on whatever it is, wherever you live in the world, depending on whatever it is, there can be somebody out there for you. It's just that everybody isn't going to get a particular person that they might want to get. That's life. And fellas, if you want to do it differently, and this is coming from a guy that's broken in some, make more money and then spend on your lady. To me, it's that simple. All that other hating shit. Hey, Missy, well, you miss a well. I'm currently on the second and last topic, and I was about to leave this one, but you know, yeah, but I ain't got too much left on here. You know what I'm saying? But just once again, before I go to the last thing, dudes, remember, just because a dude is spending more money than you and doing more for their lady or their significant other, or they tricking off on somebody more than what you can do, or more than what you're willing to do for somebody, they didn't ruin shit for you. You know what I'm saying? The only way to change that, make more money, spend more money. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Valentine's Day is supposed to, for one, it's supposed to be a holiday of understanding. Where fellas, especially, we've known all year, because pretty much Valentine's Day, that's like the woman's holiday. Men, we don't really get much or do much on. No, not exactly. Not exactly. I'm talking about how guys, from what I've heard, guys are saying that when other dudes, do big Valentine's Day celebrations for their woman, their significant others or whatever, that they're like ruining it for everybody because they're doing too much for them. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah. I mean, people were in their feels for Valentine's Day because number one, they're single. Number two, they didn't have a lick of option, and they wanted to have one at least, or that they're just seeing everybody. Well, this is why I'll say all of that. Well, yeah, yeah, no, 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 you're right. No, and that's why I was saying that the only way that a dude, if a dude is really concerned with that, two solutions are to make more money or spend more money. You know what I mean? But see, nowadays everybody lives for social media so much that dudes are worried that their significant other, their lady, whoever that they're dating, they're gonna look on Instagram timelines and Facebook timelines and Twitter timelines, and they are going to, and they're gonna, it is what it is. I think that's just mainly just like either like the lonely people or dudes, that just have heavy egos and stuff like that. It's they got issues with that. Like me, I got a hotel room, got some alcohol. Me and a young lady did some stuff, and that was that. You know what I mean? If she was disappointed or she wanted more, I don't know. But I'm doing what I can. You know what I mean? Right, right, and that's the thing. And see, that's the thing, and see, that's why dudes think that when dudes really, when they feel like overdo it for Valentine's Day, they feel like um that messes it up for them because now they got to worry about their woman looking at that and then being mad because they can't do more or won't do more, or not willing to do more. So that's really what it is. I don't really think that people are really off on Valentine's Day. On the real, if you got it, or if you or if you and your significant other or your lady or whoever you're dating has a certain understanding and you're gonna do stuff, you're not even gonna be worried about that. That's people that's either broke or they ain't got no ego. Yeah, man, self right. That's what I mean. See, all of that entails that when people are looking at what when people are either looking at what other people are doing or they're saying that they wish that you can do more, then that is the issue. You know what I mean? And see, that is why I've known married couples where they only go to a particular restaurant on Valentine's Day or for like a birthday, or they only do something real freaky like like if y'all don't do anal for like the rest of the year, Valentine's Day will be the day to do that. You know what I mean? Or you know, or that might be the day for laundry, like whatever it is. When it comes to me, I really don't care. Like it's one of those things where you're supposed to be communicating with whoever that you're with, and you're supposed to know that if that like if you and that person have that understanding that this is what's going on, then everything should be fine. If you guys are far apart, then maybe you're just not with maybe you're just not with the right people. That's just how I see it. To me, it's that simple. I don't give a damn about what another dude does that I don't do or that I can't do because hell, like if I did, then I would just step up to the plate and make more, spend more. That's it. That's all it is. You know what I mean? Now, to get to the last thing, because I got some, so I got some other videos and stuff like that to do. Exactly, exactly. Well, I'll see. The one last thing I'll say about that, and we'll leave it at that. Is that sometimes people aren't always honest. There are times that that a woman says, "Oh yeah, she's cool with this," and she's not really cool with it. So you do have that instance. You do have sometimes, when outside forces, get into people's heads, they're telling the dudes, "Oh no, you shouldn't do this that, and the third for her," or they telling the girl, "Oh, well, you should get more. He gotta be doing more for you." So you get all those things pretty much floating around, on either side of it. So that also has another thing with it. Point being, the last point on it is just ego on whoever's matter, is not pleased with it. If they looking at other things and they're getting in their feelings with it, just make more, spend more, and be with somebody that's gonna do what you want them to do for Valentine's Day. That's it. Um, so the last thing I'm gonna say, and I want to say this, but I kind of want to like provide like a little twist on it. Now there are times where, and I think it's just been like during this whole pandemic thing, like when we've been doing less as a people, as far as just being out and all that. Kind of got like my conspiracy, either like conspiracy theories, or it's just like when people is faking the funk, then then I got something to say on it. So for anybody that doesn't know, the All Star game is happening in ATL this year, and the mayor is encouraging people because because they're having an All Star game, and during halftime they're going to have a dunk contest. And they're encouraging people, well, hey, it's pretty much like a game for TV, for people to watch on TV and this, that, and the third. They're trying to encourage people to not come, try to come down to ATL, to be hanging out and to be spreading that risk around. You know what I mean? This is my only problem when it comes to that. I'm gonna speak on ATL very briefly. The last time that I was in Georgia, and this is what I was telling my man Reminisce, who's real, he's a lot more stringent on his release as far as COVID and things of that nature, probably than I am, because he's a medical professional and it's and they're staring him in the face more. But in Georgia, they got some places like when you go certain places, you know what I mean. They do temperature checks, like any bar that we went to or whatever. They did temperature checks in there, where that doesn't do a thing, that doesn't say a thing. You know what I mean? It doesn't. It's not like a COVID test or like a vaccine or nothing like that. You know what I mean? It's just checking your temperature because we know that you having a fever can be a symptom of COVID-19. So they give you the temperature check. If you're good to go, they'll let you in. And I believe that because of that, and I believe that I don't really know if people in ATL are really testing them, getting themselves tested when they're around people that have it, or when they expose to somebody that has it, or whatever. I think it's one of the things where they might only be going if they have the symptoms. Therefore, the numbers there might be better, like for instance, like the numbers like here. So I'm not sure people are really at least like when I was down there, like with the hundreds of people that I was around down there, they wasn't really too concerned with it. You know what I mean? So yeah, people if they trying to party and if they trying to hang out and do all that good stuff, then they're gonna do that. You know what I mean? No matter the repercussion. But this is the one thing that I would say about the mayor of Atlanta, Keisha Lance Bottoms. I believe that's her name if I'm saying it right offhand. This is, as a politician, where you should have some kind of self awareness. And this is what I mean. If this is going to happen, I would go farther than, saying, well, hey, don't. Right. Right. Well, no. You're right. I'm just talking about like that was just one little example. See, I went down there in November. I went down there actually it was the week of Thanksgiving. I actually went down there on Black Friday and I came back on a Sunday. So and that was just one of the examples of where, where I just got, in my mind that down there they weren't really too concerned. At least this is what people would tell me like from their own mouths and things of that nature. But if you really want to have awareness about the whole thing, then this is what needs to happen. During that weekend, we know it might be a high concentration of people down there. It's because of the All-Star game festivities and this and the third. Hey, make curfews. Close things down sooner. You know what I mean? Or I'm sorry, or earlier. You know what I mean? Limit what do they call it? Limit like groups and parties, like just for that weekend. Do it just then. Do it from Friday to Sunday or Friday to Monday, whatever. Do it then. You know what I mean? Do those things because I know that in a place like there, they care less about that shit than they do now. I know so many people that are traveling. They're traveling across. I'm talking about like people like in Georgia. My people down there, they traveling across the country. They going to every bar club that they can do. Me, I only do one or two things. I'm in like grocery stores. I think I've actually eaten at a restaurant, like actually eating inside a restaurant since this pandemic has started. Probably, I know I can count on one hand. And I hang out with my buddy, and we're inside. We do all the drinking, and we might smoke cigars every now and then. We eat, whatever, and we don't really congregate with too many people. We just having fun amongst ourselves. There, they don't give a shit. You know what I'm saying? Baby shower, whatever. And I'm not even saying it like, to be because when it comes to me, I'm not one of those people that's just, heavy handed and saying that, oh yeah, you should be safe, you shouldn't go in with this, that, and the third. I say if anything, be aware of the consequences because I can't tell other grown people what to do. Can't do it. You know what I mean? This year, people have ran into the Capitol. And those people, they knew that was illegal before they did it. So I can't tell no grown people what to do. But I'm just saying, Atlanta, if y'all really about that, y'all do that. Just saying that, it don't do shit. It don't do a motherfucking thing. Because I tell you like this, right? When I went to Atlanta, and this was during the time where in DC, they were like, if you travel out of the state, well, outside of like Maryland and Virginia, if you travel outside of the DMV area, if you come back in, get you tested. You know what I'm saying? Which is what I did. I got tested. But the one thing that I do know is that it's not like, when I came back in off the plane that like it was like military police like forcing me to take a COVID test at that point, and then if I had it, they escorted me to my crib after that. No, I did that on my own. I did that on my own. You know what I mean? So I know that everybody else isn't doing it. So just kind of be aware of what you're doing. Like I know that you're doing this because you want, because of course that helps the local economy. You know what I mean? When the ball players come down there, all-star, festivities, you know what I'm saying? When those things happen, more people go to clubs, more people go to bars, more people go to restaurants, strip clubs, whatever it is that they having down there that's open, people are gonna be down there. You know what I mean? So let's just be mindful and considerate and everything like that. Let's do that. You know what I mean? That's that. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm trying to say. And I'm gonna cap today off on that. Like I said, I'm gonna start doing movie reviews on my YouTube page for anybody that that actually subscribes to my YouTube page or wants to subscribe in the future. It is called The Kingdom of Coff Bizz. If you search The Kingdom of Coff Bizz, and you will find me. And that is when I'll start doing movie reviews. I'll be doing current stuff. I'll be doing past stuff, but I'll be doing things that really resonate to me. I know that the first one that I'm going to do is Malcolm and Marie because to me, and I spoke about it some last week, but it's definitely a great piece of cinema in my opinion. You know what I mean? And I'm definitely going to do that. I'm not going to be dropping them like on a regular day. I'll just be, until I get to the point where I can kind of handle that thing, I'll just be dropping them. And I'll let you guys know in the Facebook community when I'll be dropping those things. So, that's that. That'll be that. You know what I mean? But y'all already know next Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, I'll be on Facebook Live doing this for y'all. Something I found out a couple of weeks ago is that, for whatever reason, when I tried to do when I did a Facebook Live show and I had somebody call me in on it, and then I tried to download the video like I'm normally able to do, so then I can edit and then put it on my YouTube page. it didn't give me it didn't give me that option to do it. So at least from what I've read, it looks like, if you've actually done one, that you can have difficulty trying to download that. So um yeah, so for like the next few weeks at least, I'm probably not gonna have anybody, actually call in and actually share the screen with me, if I'm having difficulty to edit. So just to let y'all know. Um, but thank y'all for checking me out. Thank y'all for joining me. Remember, um, that everybody, especially, it's a winter storm going on right now. Hopefully everybody enjoyed their Valentine's Day, and that's that. It's your boy Kendall Coff Bizz, and I'm signing off.